The Marauder Strikes is a solitaire game which will be released by Legion War Games. Not sure yet when, but it's being developed, and we'll do our best to put it on your table as soon as we can. In this video, I'm going to show you quickly what you can find in the game today. Of course, the flight manual, which is the rule book, and you have the basic part, and you also have an advanced part at the back of it, and we can zoom in on one rule here, and you can pause this video later and read something later if you'd like that. And you have the target list and gazetteers, and this is chapter 1, which covers the 9th Bomber Command from July 1943 through June 1944. And the 9th Bomber Command included the 97th, 98th, and 99th bomb wings. The 97th used A-20s and later A-26s, and the other two bomb wings used the B-26. Two groups in the 99th bomb wing converted to the A-26 in 44 and 45. And here and in this booklet is your target lists. You roll 2d6s, the conventional way of determining a result from 11 to 66. And you have the gazetteers. This is V weapon sights. And the gazetteers is they show you your route to and from the target. For example, if your target is Chièvre, it's in Belgium if I'm not mistaken, and is Chièvre an airfield? Let's have a quick look. Where is or is it the marshalling yard on this list? There it is, an airfield. ZB50 is the code, and the B stands for Belgium. So Chièvre is in Belgium. And here you see the size. It's a medium target, and you are flying over England and water, and the defense value in this zone is +0. The next zone is over water, France and Belgium, and the defensive value is +1. And this, I don't know what it's called, but this denotes this zone to be FW190 heavy. So chances are that you will meet more 190s than 109s, for example. And the next zone is Belgium with +1, also 190 heavy. And the last zone, the target zone, is Belgium with a defensive value of +2. And this asterisk shows that this zone is 109 heavy. And over here is the target terrain. It comes into play when you need to bail out or crash land, and also during navigation, and if there's a flag zone. For example, if you're over France or water. Since the target zone in this case here is over water, but the target is so close to water, so the terrain is water and France. And when you are over the target and you're shot down, you determine either through a dice roll, if you cannot control your plane, if you bail out or crash land in water, or ditch or crash land over land, or if you bail out over land or water. You put these values onto the mission chart during mission briefing when you plan your mission. And chapter 1, this is chapter 1. It covers the period from July 1943 until June 1944, with historical notes to give you some historical content. Chapter 2, I don't have it here, but chapter 2 covers the 98th Bomb Wing from July and August from July 1944 through until the end of the war in May 1945. And chapter 3 covers the 99th Bomb Wing during the same period, and chapter 4 covers the 97th Bomb Wing during the same period. And chapter 3 and chapter 4 will not be included in the core game. Maybe chapter 3 will, but I'm not sure. It may be included instead in one of the expansions, the A-26 expansion, for example. Chapter 2 will most likely be included in the core game. And we go from the target lists and gazetteers to from the flight manual to the tables and charts. Damage tables, mission briefing tables, tables which are used in the target zone, advanced tables. These with an asterisk are advanced, so you use them only in the advanced game. Mission planning, weather, altitude. The initial point is an advanced rule. The enemy Air Force resistance is advanced. And you have the formations. Bomb loads. And the takeoff tables. Tables which summarizes the fighters you have in the game. If you have played B-17 Queen of the Skies, you recognize this table, for example, from that game, and also this from B-17 Queen of the Skies. B-26 is very similar to B-17 Queen of the Skies. I cannot say how it compares to Target for today. I have it, but I have not opened it, and I have never played it. All I know of it is from YouTube. Yep. And what else do we have? Maps. Hopefully there will be maps. In the core game there will be 13 maps, I think it is. And this is Normandy, June 1944. And the target list and gazetteers, they are also named the same. So all of these targets here are on the target list for June 1944. Some maps cover 2 or 3 months, for example, December 1943 through February 1944, or March and April 1943, or March and April 1944, or May 1944. And these maps will most likely change. I made these and I've discovered that they are incorrect. So I must completely remake them and remake the gazetteers as well. And what else do we have? We have counters. On this map I'm on a mission now to Cherbourg, and I have a counter which marks where the target is. In this case it's up here, Cherbourg in zone 4, and this counter is my formation. It shows 3 flights, 18 bombers. Oh wait, this might not be in the game. Instead, it might be this one instead, which shows 1 single B-26. And we have several other counters. These with a bullet hole mark, you place these counters on the combat board. I will show you that one in a little while. And these mark superficial damage. After the 5th counter, each counter with a green border is visible. This one is wrong. Oops. Is visible external damage. And when you have visible external damage, attacking fighters will come around for successive attacks. And the 5th, superficial damage, has a green border. So if you only have superficial damage, all attackers will make successive attacks. Fuel leaks are rare actually, and fires are rare. You also have enemy fighter cards. These are trainers. It's a what if. I've included those for a what if, as what if encounters, what if units in the area you fly through, and they are sent up to fight your formation. And here are informational counters and your fighter escort. Out of formation summarizes what happens when what you do when you're out of formation. And what else? These are not all fighter cards. There are more, about 100 of them. And these counters here, they show you the enemy fighter pilot's skill. An alter hase, old hair, is the best of the best, and then you have a green pilot. The enemy fighter pilot status is an advanced rule. In the advanced rule, not all fighters approaching your formation will attack your plane. Some may have another bomber in his sight, for example. We don't know, but I call them Kashmariks, and which tells you they are not attacking your plane. Maybe they have been hit by another bomber, or they are going after you, the lead plane, or one of the others. And here we have dice. I use several D6s, but in the game there would probably be 3, 2 of one color and 1 of another color. Those are all you. D6s are the only dice you need, from 1 to 3, usually 1 or 2. On some tables you use 3, but not many. Okay, you have the crewman experience chart. You place the name of each crewman, his rank. There are no rules in the game, included in the game, to determine how you decide the rules. What am I saying? There are no rules in the game which helps you determine the rank of a crew member. There's a guideline, but no set rule, and you have to improvise, or just skip it altogether. It's not important. It's just for flavor. There are B-26 has so many rules. It's not a complicated game. It can be deep, maybe. It's not complicated. It's deep. It's wide and deep. And I wanted to include so many more rules, but I had to limit the rule book. And I'd like to expand on some rules, for example, on crewman experience, but it include a more role-playing experience, but it's too much. It's too much. And the back here, there's an empty, well, just an empty space where you can put notes, or what did I call this one? Nose art. You can draw your own nose art here and frame it. Why don't you frame it when you're done? And also included is the player A chart, the pack. This is very good. This is very good. I like this one. And the player A chart is well, shows you the order of actions. You do this, and which table you use, and where in the rule book you find the rule for this step. How you determine friendly fighter cover is rule 281. And in the beginning, you follow this pack each step. I suggest you begin with only the basic rules, the basic gameplay, which is the green rows. So you skip all 10, the advanced, and you will find, if you have played B-17 Queen of the Skies, that gameplay is very similar. You enter a zone, you basic gameplay. I'm talking about basic gameplay now. You enter a zone, you roll for fighters, you end the turn, you move into the next zone. B-26, in B-26 you enter a zone, you check for fighters, and you end the turn by marking off fuel. And the bomb run is very similar too. Mission history and loading list. This is the mission, what's it called in B-17? The mission composite chart, I think. Mission number, you have the date, the target type, area, which model you fly, the plane name. It's called the Grey Ghost. It's my developer, he referred to his cat as the Grey Ghost once, and that's why I named my B-26 the Grey Ghost. That was funny. I love cats. And the result here, oh, where am I? Here am I. You don't need to do this, but I do this. Each box is for one flight. So this is box 2 low, and above it is box, if I fly in box 1 low, I put the result in this box here. Lead, high, and low, and this is the final result. 10% is poor, and insignificant damage. Now, insignificant damage is or damage is an advanced rule. I was off target here, 1%. Undetermined result. No, unsatisfactory result with insignificant damage. And this is 26%. This is for a flight. And it's a good result with, what does it say, severe damage. And here is box 1 when I'm bombing by boxes, and box 2 when I'm bombing by boxes, and I put the final result here. And I'll show you an example. I think from previous missions. Here. Oops. I tested rules for not only my box or flight, but for all other flights in my formation here, and for the 2 boxes in the formation here. And I circled this result because I was flying in box 2 at the time, and I was in box 2. I was in the low flight position number 6 in the lead group. You don't have to do this. This is how I do it. You'll find your own way. And I'll show you quickly how I mark my low, level, and high. High is an arrow up. Level is a line with a, I don't know what that is, a shelf. And then low is an arrow down. And on the back of this sheet is six more missions. And here is the mission chart. During mission planning, you put the target here, what size it is, and what the target terrain is. This is a defensive area in Cherbourg, which is near water in France. And you determine the weather at takeoff. In this case it was poor. Never mind the F. That's something I tested on this mission. I just thought of something. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I'm testing it now. And at landing it's good. Very good. I mean very good. And then you have diversion airfields. The weather predicted over the target is good. Wind, enemy air force resistance, and so on. The blue are advanced rules. The home station is in England. My B-26 takeoff modifier is +0. There are earlier models with -1, but I don't think they are included in the game. And the F and G, I think both of them have takeoff modifier +0, +1. England. I fly over England and water here. Water. And this is where the target is. And here is an emergency landing ground. I can use it if I must if I must land early. So I can, instead of going all the way to zone 0, when I'm in zone 3, I can turn around and fly to zone 5. This is Junkers 88s. They can be encountered in this area, and this T stands for trainers, and so trainers can be encountered in this area as well. Bomber details. The weather is good. I fly at 11,500 feet. Initial point is 3. Bomber modifiers. And flag information. And here you put the number of fighter waves. For example, 2, I do this for 2 waves, and for 3 waves I do this. And here we have a 190A6 attacking from 12 high, let's say that, in the first wave. And there is also a Messerschmitt 109 G6U4, and he's attacking from 3 level. That's in the first wave. And in the second wave we have a 110 G2. He's attacking from 6 low. On the back here, is your formation. I circle the position I'm in. So in this on this mission, I am in box 1, in the high flight, in the lead group, and I am bomber number 1. So 1 for the high flight, 3 for 1 for the box 1, 3 for, that should be 2, sorry, that should be 2. 2 is the low flight. 3 is the low flight. Lead is number 1, high number 2, and low number 3. And I am bomber number 1 in the lead group. Some modifiers depending on where you are in the formation. Damage, for instance, you put damage here. You have boxes here for certain damage, for landing, for damage which affects landing. You mark off ammunition boxes when you fire. And you have the crew members here. Fuel consumption chart. You end each turn by marking off fuel. 1 box minimum per turn. Unless your engines are at half power, in that case you mark off 1/2, and you do this as 1 and 1/2 is just 1. And if you are in the landing turn after fuel consumption, you land. If you have marked off all boxes before landing, the engine stops and you land with an engine out, or even 2 engines out if you're not careful. And in the bomb run turn, you mark off fuel and then go into the bomb run. When you take off first, you go through the turn and end the turn by marking off fuel. And a regular turn is in the advanced game, you check for formation events, and you check for fighters, and then fuel consumption. That's the basic outline of a turn. In the basic game, you check for fighters and then mark off fuel. So that's a turn, without adding the takeoff segment or the bomb run segment or the landing segment. You fly forever checking for fighters or marking off fuel. Well, you cannot fly forever, but until fuel runs out. So remember that basic gameplay turn is enter a zone, check for fighters, mark off fuel, move into the next zone. In advanced gameplay, you move into a turn, check for formation events, check for fighters, mark off fuel, move into the next zone or turn. The combat board. This is where your encounters with fighters take place. The little friends are down here. If a Messerschmitt 109 attacks from 6 low, you place him here, here, in the low hex. You can place him outside or inside, and if he attacks from level, you place him with the nose inside, and high is here, or you can even place him here. From 7 high, it's here or here. And we have, what do we have? We have a Junkers 88 from a vertical dive, and what else? A Focke-Wulf A6. No. Let's use this one. This one. We have this one from 6 low. On the combat board, you find your crew, the internal view, or not internal view, but the crew placement board. A regular crew, the B-26 is 6 men. Tail gunner is an armorer here. Actually, the engineer or the armor can be the tail gunner, you decide. radio operator, and on this mission I have a navigator and a bombardier. You have a pilot and a co-pilot. If you are not lead, you have a bombardier navigator. He's doing the navigating and he's dropping the bombs. You can have him either here in the navigator's compartment or radio compartment or in the nose. I think I covered everything which is included in the game. I don't think I forgot anything, but you never know. This is a good hotel. Remember it.